A Despicable Me review by me, Jake. Upon special request, today we have a Despicable Me film review. Released in 2010 and distributed by Universal Pictures, Despicable Me has become a modern classic for young adults, Facebook mums and kids. Many scenes have become memes which has kept the film relevant and, in my opinion, is an excellent film to show your kids as it has some genuinely heartwarming moments, has great animation and art style, is genuinely funny, and it also explores some real societal problems. So in this review, I'll be giving my genuine opinions on Despicable Me and how it's impacted modern day internet culture in ways not many other animated films have. Firstly, the cast. The cast of this film is incredible, boasting the talents of Steve Carell, Russell Brand, Julie Andrews, Will Arnett, and Miranda Cosgrove, to name a few. All of these actors give it their all in this film. Steve Carell is Gru in every scene, and the animation just tops it all off, while the supporting characters of Dr. Nefario and Margot, played by Russell Brand and Miranda Cosgrove respectively, are amazing supporting acts to Carell's Gru. Both challenge different parts of Gru's personality and problems, such as Nefario acting as his old and evil self, while Margot acts as his superego, making him want to change and become a better human. Finally, possibly my favourite performance and character in every Despicable Me film, Vector, played by Jason Segel. Vector is one of my all-time most favourite villains. He's funny, strangely threatening, and pure evil. Jason Segel plays him amazingly, and I laughed in nearly every scene he was in. His over-the-top movements and exaggerated vocal performance makes him a perfect adversary for Gru, who presents himself as a more laid-back and intimidating villain. Vector's greatest scene comes in his first introductory scene, when Gru visits the Bank of Evil to get a loan for his moon heist. Vector is introduced as a seemingly in-over-his-head and naive young villain that's just trying to be noticed by the big players. His eagerness to show off his inventions to Gru and trying to impress the elder villain makes him look like he's overcompensating and a little incompetent, especially after the Piranha Gun mishap.
Mr. Gru, Mr. Perkins will see you now.
However, shortly after, we discover that it was Vector who stole the pyramid and is the one making Gru feel copious amounts of jealousy. So, we then realise that there is some truth in what Vector was saying earlier, committing crimes with
direction and magnitude. Oh yeah!
He isn't just some deluded boy, but actually a competent and dangerous criminal who we and Gru should be wary of, which is a good start to a villain, making us fear him. Another great characteristic of Vector is that he's genuinely funny, endearing us to him. The physical comedy that Illumination brings to Vector is top class. Much like Gru, his exaggerated movements make for great physical comedy, and the way Jason Segel delivers his lines are also top class, and in my opinion, Vector is one of the greatest animated villains of all time. Secondly, Despicable Me has done something that I haven't seen in a long time from an animated film. This film explores and sheds light on some mental problems a person can go through, one of which is probably a strong reason why Gru became a villain to begin with, as he is, at heart, a good person. Regardless whether his family were villains in the past or not, this film seems to suggest that Gru grew up with no love from his mother and no praise from his mother. Every time Gru presented something to his mother, he was met with from his mum. Continuously trying to prove himself to his mum, he was always met with the same response. Even when he built an actual rocket based off his own design and resources, he got maybe 3 seconds of praise, as his mother was shocked that he built a rocket before going back to her catchphrase. These things would have a serious effect on Gru, possibly making him feel as though he needs to prove himself to everybody he meets, including himself. This feeds into the second issue we see grow through in this film. Gru very blatantly is struggling becoming an old guard of the villains, and new talents is coming through, effectively replacing him, which would make his need to prove himself skyrocket. He initially doesn't see Vector as a threat, but once Perkins, the Bank of Evil manager, reveals that Vector was the one who stole the pyramid at the start of the film, Gru is shocked at the fact that Vector could pull off something like that. Then, out of jealousy, he freezes Vector's head. Understandable, really. Gru only seems to get over these feelings once the girls come into his life. It's almost as if he realizes that he now has the opportunity to give 3 girls what he didn't get as a kid, the love of a parent. The girls make Gru want to do better and make him realize that he doesn't want to be a villain, and over the course of the films you can see these changes happen, and it began with him adopting Margot, Edith and Agnes. Lastly, I'll be talking about the cultural impact of Despicable Me, because trust me, the impact this film has is insane.
Baba Booey.
This film has impacted all ages, all genders, and all races. The creation of the most influential and clearly the best meme template ever, Minions, was a cultural phenomenon. The memes are still used today by women over 40 who love extra fries, not exercise, and 20-year-old depressed youths who've committed war crimes in the Middle East. Nevertheless, the writers and animators of Despicable Me created something special with the Minions, and it's become a merch enterprise, which then turned into their own spin-off film, which fans weren't exactly happy with.
It's shit. I hate it.
Despicable Me has also created so many more memes, from the planning meme to the vectored meme, that's a personal favourite. Despicable Me has undoubtedly been a cultural phenomenon and has impacted so many lives in a positive way. This film is amazing and is a great film to show anyone of any age, and this is why I'm rating this film a solid 8 to 9 out of 10. Thank you.